What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown. My name is Zach from Another Letdown Media and the This Is Difficult video game podcast. I will be one of your hosts this evening. Watching Paint Dry is the show where we hang out at the end of a long week after we should have probably gone to bed or thought about going to bed and work through the ridiculous backlog of miniatures that we've accumulated over the years that need painting. There's an old adage that says if a miniatures painter ever runs out of projects to paint, he or she will die, so we're just trying to stave off death for as long as possible. And joining me on the line, it's not Broody Gambit. Broody is taking the week off today. Instead, we've got, for the first time in a very long time, producer Chamali. Mike, how's it going?
It's good. You just have to have the mic quota for the day, apparently.
Absolutely. Can't spend a Saturday without a mic. It's against the rules. So we have amassed miniatures, and we continue to amass miniatures because we both are in possession. We all four of the hosts here on the show are in possession of various 3D printers and other miniatures projects, I guess, that my mind just, like, I had a really good thing going and then it just I pulled a Josh is what I did. Like, it was in there and then it wasn't. We have 3D printers. We have games that have minis and they need painting. So we're just going to hang out and do that. I myself am finishing up Yondu that we started a couple weeks ago on the show. And then I've got a couple of options thereafter. And Mike, you're working on Doctor Strange, it looks like?
Yes. Both the heroic and the zombie version.
Marvel Zombie stuff. Okay, this is the first time we've seen Marvel Zombies stuff that's not like just random shield mooks, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think I did a couple bystanders, but I don't think I did any heroes yet. No.
Yeah, so this is new territory. You and Adam and I all bought into the Marvel Zombies thing, and then of course Simon had to go and announce deceased. But you know, we've got our own plans with that kind of thing. So we'll talk about that as we see fit. But right now, I think most of that is G14 classified. Anyway, as with all the shows that we host here on the Another Letdown Media channel, as well as This Is Difficult podcast network at large, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone and in being as inclusive as possible. So any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. Somehow I did that in one breath. Let's paint. Here we go. Yep, working on Marvel Crisis Protocol. Chamali's working on Marvel Zombies. Let's do this. Where was I?
Well, I just got new paints also. We talked about that last night.
Yes, we did. We did briefly talk about that. We were wondering if they were going to get here in time. I take it they did.
They did. So I got the Pro Acryl line of these guys right here. Little 22 milliliter bottles.
Oh, those are big then.
Yeah. Well, the problem is they don't fit in the holes that I have for all of my other.
Yeah. I just started 3D printing the rack for my TC Combat paints, which are the standard 17 mil bottles.
Yeah. That's what my rack's, which is nice.
So the Pro Acryl, like, so when I was at Gen Con is when I picked up the TT Combat paints.
Okay.
And I looked at several different systems.
Okay.
And the reason, like, Pro Acryl, like, I was like, oh man, these look dope. But the guys who were selling them, like, couldn't give me any information about them.
What?
Yeah, they were like, yeah, they're great. And I'm like, okay, that's not at all helpful. Like, can you give me some concrete information? They're like, not really. And I was like, well, then I'm not buying them.
That's fair.
Where the guy selling TG Combat was like, here's a bunch of concrete information, and I'll even let you try them. Like,
yeah, like, that's what you want to be able to do. I don't understand why. So,
it was very strange. It was a very odd interaction.
I'll be honest. Pro Acryl was not my first. I was looking at getting new paint. And Army Painter is coming out with a new line of war paints that are supposed to be way better.
Yep.
And I was looking at getting into those, and well, their complete set is just too pricey for me right now, and I didn't want to go half because their new line is, I mean, it looks really cool.
It does look really cool. But yeah, it's just obscenely expensive.
But that's, I mean, it comes with 216 different colors.
Which is absolutely
Bonkers.
Ridiculous. Like, holy moly. I thought 170 was crazy.
So I was like, that's really cool, and I want those, but I can't afford them right now.
Right. So
instead of buying my time and having patience, I decided to look into other new ones. The ones that I was looking at were Pro Acryl, obviously. I was looking at what I thought you had, which was two thin coats.
Yeah, see, honestly, I've never, like... I didn't know that they had a paint line.
Yeah, so it's only on Kickstarter.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the other one was AK Interactive, which is primarily a European company.
Right.
So, two thin coats, I was like, oh man, that actually looks really cool.
Right.
But if I did another color, or I wanted something,
you'd be waiting forever.
Yeah, I have to wait for another Kickstarter or something, so I can't just go to the store and buy it. So that's what's, I was like, okay, we're done with that. I'm not going to do two thin coats anymore.
Yeah, that's not an option.
That's out. And AK, being a European company, they just have so many different colors.
Yep.
And they didn't have a good base set that was reasonably priced for me to get.
Ugh.
So instead, I went with Pro Acryl, they have their base set, and their base set was 24 colors for $100.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, not too bad. And it's made here in the U.S.
It is. That was a selling point for me, for sure. Like, he did tell me that. I was like, okay, that's cool. Means it's available.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, gung-ho USA, but it's more, hey, it's easy for me to get.
Right. Like, 2/3, well, yeah, I mean, functionally 2/3 of my paint set is from overseas. I'm sitting here using Citadel right now for the highlighting coat, and that's UK. And my GSW, my technical stuff, all comes from Spain, so...
And that's why I didn't go... That's another reason why I didn't go from AK. Well, like I said, it's overseas. But with your experience with GSW, I remember your tracking...
Yeah, the realization that RPD could have intercepted it at some point in Denmark and gotten it here faster.
Yes. It's like, okay, I don't want to buy something from overseas.
Yeah.
These shipping.
You know, in the meantime, Green Stuff World has set up a shipping hub here in the States, so the newer stuff has gotten here a lot faster. But it's still like, you know, I don't want to... If I can help it, I don't want to deal with that. TT Combat and Pro Acryl are both stateside.
Yeah. So I went with that.
Yeah.
My experience thus far, having used it for a whole less than a day, is actually really positive.
Good.
I've used a couple colors, and the one thing that I have to say, so I prime all mine with an airbrush.
Sure.
And I use where you spray from the side. Zenithal Highlight. That's what I'm...
Yep. You and Broody both do that. Adam and I are both flat color.
Yeah. Where I spray... I'll spray gray like from the side to get like a mid-tone, and then I'll spray a white from the top.
Yep.
the one thing I will say is I use the Pro Acryl for the gray and the white, and in the past, my experience hasn't been bad, but
Right.
like I could see transitions and things like that. It wasn't great color transitions. It wasn't like super buttery smooth. This was buttery smooth. Like,
Nice.
when I painted, like if you can see the transition there, color on that cape.
Oh yeah.
That's all from both the Zenithal, and then I speed painted red on them.
You know, that's like, so that's part of why I chose Clea today as my backup. I want to try some of the speed paints.
Yeah.
I think we'll get there. Like, Yondu's not going to be hard to finish up here.
Right now, I'm sorry, I haven't been really painting Doctor Strange. I've been going through and trying to repaint all my base rings in a different color.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have very many heroes painted, so I changed it to the Pro Acryl Sky Blue. That went on perfectly, and now I need the zombie. Oh, I did Silver Surfer on. So he was technically the first one.
Right.
So I redid the zombie. Oh, the other thing is they're all sealed. All these colors.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. And if you want to know something.
What a pain in the neck. But also not.
It is. Well, it is.
Like, I mean, my TT Combat paints are sealed too, but they're sealed with like a ring.
Yeah, I have that. There's a little ring in there.
No. I mean, like, it's on the outside.
Oh. Okay.
It's like a medicine bottle, almost.
Oh.
Like you have to push down and turn. The right one? Yeah, I guess that is. Maybe. I'm taking a risk here with a highlight color, but
So the other thing Pro Acryl paints is that they don't have normal drop bottle. So Citadel famously has their
stupid flip lids.
Paint with in pots.
Yeah.
And everyone else uses dropper bottles. Like,
Yeah.
go off the top and drop the paint down, right? Pro Acryl does not. They use the white one. Easy.
The what?
You see there's all white. You see how there's the paint on the ring, right?
Yeah.
If I turn this, it is like a little seal. So you just turn it. You don't fully lift the lid, and then you can get the paint out that way.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it yet. So far, I'm not unhappy with it.
Right.
I don't know if it's the best method,
But it's a method.
it is a method, and it's working. So it gives me my dropper bottles. That's all I care about.
Right.
And the nice thing with this is that Army Painter, I believe I was on stream when I popped the whole thing out.
Yeah.
And all the paint spilled everywhere.
Yeah, it happened to me last week too.
Can't do that with these,
Nice.
I think.
He says now.
Let me just put that caveat in there.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, this risk definitely paid off. I love it when I find exactly the right highlight color without having to mix anything.
Yes, that is always really nice. But that's what I liked about the new Army Painter colors, is that on the bottle they had the exact colors, and they didn't call them like, oh, this is Chaos Black, and what you're looking for is Gravelord Gray.
Right.
You're looking for blue, and that's lighter blue.
Right.
And like on the side, it tells you this is all like the blue tones, and here's where it falls in the super. That's you know what? Keep this guy. I have it out. That is. So our adventures, Suicide Squad last.
Yeah, I still like
It's frustrating.
it's so frustrating because it's such a bloody resource hog, and I just don't understand it. Like, how did they not learn their lesson with Arkham Knight?
I don't know. I like the game's really fun too. I'm enjoying the gameplay.
Game is so much fun.
I am not enjoying crashing.
I'm not enjoying it crashing on your part. I'm not enjoying it just being like having to pause every 30 seconds on my end. Like, it's like you took this long, you delayed it so many times. You'd think they'd have it together by now. I mean, like, we're gonna keep streaming it, I think, but it's just so annoying.
I'm very frustrated.
Yeah. Because I mean, I genuinely, I really do enjoy it.
Well, I went back today because I wanted to tweak some more settings, see if I can get it going without crashing.
Yep.
And I think I was successful. Good
Oh,
news
good.
there. But when I booted it up, all of the progress that we did, the story progress, was reset.
Ew.
Yeah. I think it's because of the crash, basically.
Right.
But like the character level was the same and all that, which is fine. I'm okay.
Yeah.
But the story progress was all frustrating. Oswald Cobblepot recruiting.
What?
So I played today to get up to the point. Successfully went back to the point that we were at.
Is this like just the lingering effects of it being a service game?
The story,
Like,
you mean?
yeah, like.
No, I think it's just the crash.
You think so?
Because like all of the other things were, and it even popped up at one point and was like, "Hey, you already did this when you spoiled yourself earlier." Something, but the message disappeared
Before you could actually take it in, yeah.
But
I
feel it's just.
I really do like this game quite a lot. Like, it's really fun, but there's just so much that doesn't make sense with it.
I don't know why they thought they made decisions that they did.
I mean, I feel like we say that a lot about a lot of games, but I think that's particularly prolific in this case.
I know making games is not easy. It's not something anyone can do.
I mean, we as people who are at least adjacent to making games pretty consistently in our lives, like, yeah.
It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort.
Mm-hmm. but it's like, make the decision that's in the best interest of the game. You know?
But like the question, like I think the gameplay is they did make good decisions. I think the problem is when it comes to the engineers on the back end, like optimizing the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they just didn't have the right people or something.
Maybe not, but I feel like that's a stretch.
I mean, Rocksteady did get bought out by, I think, Embracer. And
did they?
They can't confirm that, but so they probably lost a lot of good people.
Yeah.
And I know that the owners left right before this game released. Or
really?
Project Lead or something like that.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, it's a great game. This has nothing to do with that. It's something else." Something.
That seems suspect to me.
I mean, I don't disagree. It is a great game, but
yeah, it's super fun.
The rest of the question.
So what I'm doing here off camera is making an extra highlight coat. I added a little bit of white to what I was working with, and just gonna allow me to lighten things up a little bit in a couple places.
Blue is fine. That's a good highlight. It's not a good. Dark. Dark gray. It's open. These colors are really like they're almost like one coat on and good.
Yeah, that's good. I find the same with TC Combat. Like it's way more singular than Citadel. It's aggravating when Citadels are like, or my at least primary point of comparison.
Well, I mean, the experience you've got.
Yeah.
And I think they're the comparison for a lot.
Yeah.
Is it open?
So I booted up my I mean, you've heard part of this story so far already, but in the last week, I was really itching to play Mario Kart. And I don't know why, because I'm not good at it, but I was like, I want to play Mario Kart. And the only version of Mario Kart that I had, well, I take that back, I have two, was Super Mario Kart for SNES and Mario Kart 7 for 3DS. And I was like, all right, well, I want to play modern Mario Kart. I don't want to play super retro. And so I booted up. I tried to turn on my 3DS, and it wouldn't charge. Turns out the power charger was bad. I don't know how it went bad. I don't know what happened to it, but I ordered a new one, and fine. In the process of doing so, I turned on my 3DS for the first time in probably 3 years. And I was like, oh, man. I'd completely forgotten that I had Pokemon X. Like, because I bought it. I think it came with it. I think I bought it as a bundle.
Okay.
And I was like, oh man, how far into this game am I? Turns out not very. I must have just got bored with it in favor of playing Ocarina. Or Smash or something like that. And so I was like, man, okay, I've been on a Pokemon kick lately. Like, let's play Pokemon. And so I logged in. I went to the. I was working through the plot, and at some point, as is wont with Pokemon games, it necessitated that I go to a Pokemon Center. because I needed to heal. And I talked to this I was just talking to everybody because I couldn't remember what I was doing. I was just kind of killing time. And one person was like, "Hey, I've got a mystery gift for you." And I was like, okay, that seems suspect. It's probably some like Team Rocket or something like that. Nope. Turns out they dropped a level 100 Arceus into my party.
Good for you.
So I was like, well, this game just got an awful lot easier.
Yeah, right?
Like, granted, I have to deal with Arceus not obeying me, but I'm okay. That's a small price to pay when I could just blitz through the game now.
Yeah. It doesn't matter if he doesn't obey you like 1 out of every 4 times or whatever.
It's actually most of the time. Like, it's most times. It's not like Red and Blue where it's like, oh, like 1 in 4 it'll not obey. But no, it most of the time it doesn't obey. But in that one shot that it does obey, you're like, okay, yeah, I just won.
Game over. I win. Thank you.
Yeah. So I just stock up on awakenings and just like, oh, you fell asleep? Yeah, no, you didn't. All right, that worked really, really well. I'm actually really happy with the skin tone here. I don't know how well that looks on camera, but
that looks great.
I think it looks pretty good. Let's get some yellow in. What have I got for yellows in the TT Combat world? I got a few GWs, but let's see what I got. It would be here. No.
So yellow.
Oh, I like that. Capri Sunshine yellow.
I picked up fluorescent.
Oh, I have that. That is one of my Green Stuff World paints. This one right here.
Oh, yes. Fluorescent yellow.
I have 2 pots of that. I also have... This is right behind the green screen. I think I can reach it. I have this just like massive load of like rust and dust and blood and bile and vomit and all kinds of other stuff from GSW that I'm itching to try, but I need to find a good excuse to do so.
Well, you had Marvel Zombie.
Yes, I do. Once I can prime again. It was warm this week. Actually, I probably could have primed today. It was warm out today. But I had the baby, so.
That's... but yeah, fluorescent paints are very cool.
They are very neat, and my daughter absolutely loves the black light that I've rigged into my display case. Like every time she walks in the office, she's like, on, so she can see everything glowing.
Actually, almost perfect. I plan on using the fluorescent with Dr. Strange, which is why I picked him. His zombie form he's summoning a portal here and has all these hands coming out.
Oh, dope.
So that's going to be glowing.
That's awesome. I love that. When I did my Doctor Strange for MCP, I went Defenders #1. And and hand drawing all the. And I say drawing because I used a pen, not a brush. All the like there's like lines and stuff on his cloak, on the edging.
Oh, okay.
It was such a pain, but it came out so well. I'm actually really proud of it.
That's awesome. It's not easy to do.
It is not. All right, I think I'm gonna mix a little bit here. I just don't have the right tone.
He is annoying. That's the worst thing about getting behind.
Oh dear. Oh, come on, stop this. Oh, the pants are falling over. Whatever. Deal with it later. So we had our last skating day of the year this past week.
Oh no.
Made me very sad. It's the harsh reminder that now I got to get ready for bike season. I'm going to be biking to and from work all summer this year. Every day. No matter how rainy or ugly it gets.
Going from work all summer?
All summer long. That is to say summer school.
Ah.
Summer camp, technically. It's a camp run by the school. I'm very excited to be part of it this year. Not merely for the little extra scratch it gets me, but just what they've got me doing is exciting.
Always important.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what I can do. Let's see what kind of damage I can get into with a smaller brush.
All of the damage.
What's that?
All of the damage.
All the damage. Now that's a lot of damage. So I took my daughter to the bookstore today.
Oh yeah.
We found a book called "What Do Snowmen Do at Night."
And what do they do at night?
I don't know. She won't let me read it yet.
Oh. Oh, that's frustrating.
Yeah. She's like obsessed with it. She won't let it go, but she won't let me read it either.
Yeah, that's funny. So, white paints, right?
They're the worst. Well, second worst.
This white is amazing.
Yeah. There's something to be said for both. Wow. Whoa. Good Lord. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sitting here using the TT Combat Yellow and like, yes, this is great. But that's a whole nother level, man.
Yeah, it just goes on and it's like, oh, this is perfect. That's what you wanted to do, right? And it's like, what? Yeah. I didn't expect that, but yes, that's exactly what I want. Thank you.
I find that like if you're, touching up eyes or something like that, white paint is white paint. But when you're trying to fill a full area like that, it's really tough to find a white paint that'll behave the way you want it to.
Yeah. So this works perfectly. You just use it like any other paint and it works.
Dang.
It just works.
So I got this brush rinser from Green Stuff World with their last Kickstarter. This thing is awesome.
Brush rinser?
Mm-hmm. It's like a brush toilet.
A brush toilet? Okay.
Yeah, like you rinse your brush off and then you flush it. Here's a question for you.
Okay.
Tomorrow is, of course, the big game that most nerds ignore.
Okay. You have the red team versus the maroon team.
Is that who's playing this year? I genuinely don't even know. The one thing that I am looking forward to and I'm interested in is the Deadpool 3 trailer.
Oh, is that supposed to be coming out?
Yes, in fact, it is confirmed to be coming out tomorrow.
Well, fantastic. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That might be a reason for me to not pay attention.
Yeah, I definitely will not be paying attention to the big game. It's not even going to be on my radar.
Still not even going to pay attention to the Deadpool 3.
No, maybe. I'll YouTube it. Like, I'll wait till my buddy says, "Hey, it's up," and I'll go on YouTube and watch it.
Yes, exactly.
And by that I mean I will go on YouTube, mute my computer, and watch it. Because I haven't watched trailers with the sound on since 2008.
Share it with the Discord and everyone's going to watch it.
Yeah, exactly, right?
So I will be waiting for you to share that.
so I will be waiting for John Waugh to watch the big game so that he'll tell me that the Deadpool trailer is live, so that I can post it to Discord and we can all enjoy it together. There we go.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Oh, speaking of nailed it, my school is going to be sponsoring a trivia team very soon, starting very soon, and I'm very excited about it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, pub trivia is like my jam. I love it so very much. I was the three years running. I was either the winner or the runner on the winning team or the runner-up at the local turkey farm trivia. It's a restaurant. Hart's Turkey
cool.
Farm. Shout out Hart's Turkey Farm. You guys are great.
Do they farm turkeys?
They do.
Do they farm anything else?
Not really, no.
I mean, sometimes like you'll name yourself one thing.
Yeah. No, they're pretty much just turkeys, and they're it's great. Like they're genuinely very very good. They do a lot of obviously Thanksgiving business, but you know we went there on Thursday nights to play trivia, and you know for other reasons as well that I won't say in case my students decide to watch the VOD. And it's delightful. They're great. The trivia caller was Melissa. She was great, or Missy. Wade was our waiter. We loved him because he had the same name as Deadpool.
I thought it was you were actually going somewhere like that's why he has Wade. He goes by Wade.
Yeah, he was the man. He was great. And like, you know, the thing that I like most about Hearts though is they listen to us. You know, we said, hey, you know, trivia starts late enough that we're not coming in for dinner. We're coming in for like desserts or a snack.
Yeah.
You got to give us like a nachos or something like that on the menu. And a few weeks later, Wade comes up to us. He's like, hey, I got something for you. And he just delivers a plate of nachos to us. And we're like, that's flippin' cool. Like, that's awesome.
That's what you want.
Right? All right. La pièce de résistance on this. An idea that Broody and I had a couple weeks ago. I'm applying translucent red fluor, or fluorescent red fluor,
okay,
to the arrow and the bow to give it that cosmic touch up.
Before you do that,
yes.
Probably take that arrow or whatever you're gonna do and paint like maybe like a white or something on it. So
you think
get a little more lighter. Yeah, make it so it'll let the fluorescent paint glow more.
Good call. All right, let's do that.
Because I researched the heck out of fluorescent. How do you?
Okay, so here's the question. I've got this fluor white.
No, you don't want to use.
Don't use fluor white. Just use just stock white.
Like you said, fluorescents are very thin.
They're true.
Very transparent. So, you're gonna want something bright underneath. So when you overcoat it, basically you glaze it on top. It's gonna make that pop.
All right.
Actually, I used the fluorescent on the wall in this base here, and I had to go over it. I had yellow down, so yellow is a pretty bright color already, and then I went over it with white, it made it night and day. The pop was crazy.
I got you.
And it doesn't have to be all white. Maybe just
I'm just doing like a highlight.
Yeah.
A really thin highlight.
And I lost track. Oh. Pants. What color pants are you gonna do? They're like a purple.
So my brother and my cousins, two of them, have headed up to, I believe, British Columbia to go skiing.
Oh yeah,
They have landed safely.
that's good.
Yep, I am pleased to report. I was worried about them all day yesterday. I got to work yesterday, and like a few weeks ago, well, okay, you and Adam and I were up really late working on something, and I was drinking through the whole thing. And I arrived at work a little bit worse for wear, let's just say. And
Not just sleep.
What?
From the lack of sleep.
Yes, definitely just from the lack of sleep. And not even once, students, not even once. And my boss was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine. I just ate some bad tuna last night. We're good. Give me 20 minutes and I'll be good. I'll be right as rain." And I was. It was great. It was a great day. But like I was just in my room yesterday, and I was sitting on my table getting ready for the day, and she comes in. She goes like, "Are you hungover again?" And I'm like, "Nope. This time I'm just anxious. My brother and my cousin are on their way to British Columbia, and I am really nervous about it." And so she kept checking in with me all day. She's like, "Have you heard from your brother yet? Have you heard from your brother yet?" And that was great.
And you have.
I finally have, yes. And of course I texted her. I was like, "Hey, yep, my brother's fine. Everything's good." But of course I didn't hear from him until today. I guess like they hit the ground. The plane landed. They got off the plane, went to the Airbnb or whatever, and immediately went skiing. I was like, "You guys are such like ridiculous human beings."
I mean, if you're planning on going skiing, that's kind of what you want
Yeah,
to
that's
do,
that's the play, right? But you know, it's nice to text your brother and your mom when you get in. Like that's generally common courtesy, right?
It depends on how one track mind. But yeah, I would say that's normally.
Let's shake this a little bit more, just see what happens.
But as someone who is neglect or is that same, I probably would forget.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely the PAX Unplugged debacle of whenever the last time I saw you was, where we all forgot to text our SOs.
Ooh, that purple might be too bright.
My God, you're right. This is incredibly thin, and I'm very glad that I did the white. Holy moly! It's not even there.
So the reason I'm painting both strange is that so I can keep the color.
Yeah.
Which
I think that's part of the reason I haven't started painting the zombies stuff yet. It's like it's all batch painting.
I don't consider 2 bad. 2 is I think 3 or more is probably more bad. But
Sure.
2,
Well, after you painted all those shield minis, I guess your perspective kind of changes a little bit.
yeah, 45 or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's some outlandish number.
Yeah, no, it's like and I have to do that with multiple.
Right. All right, I'm gonna pop off camera here and just test and make sure that worked. BRB.
Sound like it worked.
Not really.
It's hard to
Something's wrong with that.
video. It doesn't even look like it tinted it too much. I wasn't watching.
Yeah, it went on pretty clear. I'm really not happy about it.
Maybe shake it up a little better.
Yeah, I'm gonna try. Let's see if that made any difference. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it looks a little better. I can't tell as much of the highlights, but it's out of focus too, so it's hard.
Yeah, should help there.
No, I still see a lot of white spots.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
That's a little better. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay. Yeah, it's basically these fluor paints are basically like an ink or a contrast paint almost.
Oh, really?
They're mega thin.
Yeah. So that's what I've understood about them is that they're really, really thin. Oh, that's.
All right, let's go try that. Oh yeah. Oh, that's dope. That's actually really freaking cool.
And did the white highlights work?
Sort of. Well enough, anyway. It's definitely an experiment, but.
So the consistency so far between these is great. I like it.
Good. All right. One more check, and then we'll move on to basing.
But the reason I don't think these are batch paying is because the models are the same character, but pretty different.
Mm-hmm.
Very different poses generally.
Yeah, that's fair.
Different bases. So.
My definition of batch painting comes from doing Chaos Dwarfs and regular dwarfs, where the poses are like similar enough, but still, or like different enough, but still pretty similar.
Yeah. These two are along those lines, but there will be different. Spells that they're casting.
Mm-hmm.
Living Doctor Strange, I think, has like Shumagorath or something, tentacles underneath.
Yeah. All right, basing. I think it's just as simple as dry brush. Mm-hmm. So what I realized on our final skate day that I mentioned earlier that I never actually bothered to say anything about. Some of the students that I've been skating with for 9 years.
Oh my lord.
Right? Obviously we had to take a picture together because that's an era, man.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's a long time. You know, it was really aggravating too the other day that, you know, I was at the school helping out with the school play, as I'm wont to do. I love working with drama, and always have. And I walked into my classroom, and one of the 8th graders was like, "Oh yeah, Mr. D yelled at us the other day for not remembering all the ways that roller coasters get up the hill." And I'm like, "Look, I didn't yell at you. I was just disappointed that you didn't look in your notes. You have your notes from last year." And she's like, "No, I don't." I'm like, "You definitely do, because you were looking at it today." And she goes, "Oh." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, I don't get mad. It's not what I do." I can be surprised, I can be disappointed, and sometimes that plays out as irritated. But I'm not mad. I just expect better.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly what you mean. I get animated sometimes, but I'm
not... sure. I might be a little sarcastic. I don't like it when people don't listen to me. That's a problem. All right. We're down to Yondu's base ring. What do you think?
Fluorescent red.
You think so? Just bright red?
Why not? Maybe not like bright red. Maybe throw like a gray on there first, like a light gray, and so it dims it a little bit.
I think I see what you're saying.
It's either fluorescent red or you just do red.
Well, so red... I'm looking at my Guardians characters. Yeah, I can see an argument for red, especially fluorescent. I don't want it to be blacklight, though. I don't want the base ring to be UV sensitive. I don't think.
Why?
Because it's just going to look so jarring. Like, what other character is going to have a UV sensitive base? Do I really want Yondu to stand out that much?
Let's see. I don't know. I'm painting all my bases the same colors, so it's hard.
Well, when I get to zombies, they're all going to be black. This is definitely an MCP thing.
Yeah.
Ooh, actually, I like this color. Does that work? Okay, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Do Wild Rider Red, and I'm going to mix in a little bit of the UV. I'm going to go for it. Oh, that's interesting.
The yellow is not some miraculous yellow. It's a good yellow. Well, just count that. But it's not like...
I'm literally bouncing this paint bottle off the floor to try it. There we go. I loosened up the ball. That's why it wasn't working.
Oh. That long, huh?
Guess so. Oh, that's way better. Learning and growing.
What color is that?
It's the fluorescent red that I was trying to use.
Oh.
I just started bouncing it off the floor.
There were shakers in that?
Yeah, there were shakers in it.
Oh.
The more you know. It's still very thin, but at least it's got a little more pigment now. Oh yeah, that's a little bit better. And now I see what you're saying about the white.
Okay. Oh, now that the paint's working as intended?
Yeah, now the paint's working as intended, or at least a little closer to as intended. Looks a lot more like a highlight coat. Alright. Cool. What is this? This sounds like Prime music. Oh no, it's not. Ha. Escape. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Escape?
Oh, I'm listening to Metroid Fusion, the soundtrack for. And I'm like, that sounds like Super Metroid music, and that's because it is. Alright.
Okay, here's the question.
Okay.
His the Eye of Agamotto on his
Yep.
metallic or no?
Man, that actually is a really difficult question. My gut says no,
That's what my was saying.
because you've got the juxtaposition of the gold around it.
The golden yellow.
Yeah.
My gut was saying no as well. I think it would be too much.
Yep.
So I think
If you wanted to gloss varnish it, that makes some amount of sense. Like what I did with the Infinity... I mean, it isn't... okay. In the MCU, it is an Infinity Stone. And that's what I did with Thanos' Infinity Gauntlet.
you just put a gloss.
I did a gloss varnish, yeah. All right. I went with kind of an orangey red.
Okay.
With the red floor for the base ring. And we'll see how that plays out. I'm going to put that under the black light and I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay. Glow. Glow, glow, glow. Just something the same. I need like brown. What?
Okay, so this is very interesting.
Go on.
Half of his like crest or whatever, his like thing, his mohawk glows.
Yeah.
The other half doesn't.
Oh, that's interesting.
Very odd. So I'm gonna try and remedy that. Go away, Bubble. I swear I had a smaller brush than this. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is.
Hey.
All right, let's see if that worked. So then he's done. Yes.
Done.
Yondu is done. I think. Just wanted to smooth out one of his legs. Oh. I didn't realize I had a Link to the Past soundtrack on this playlist. All right, Clea. Let's pack up some brushes here. It's Guardians of the Galaxy 44, January 1994.
First appearance?
No, it's just a notable appearance of Yondu.
Oh.
While I'm using my phone, I have a pen. All right, let's find a notable example of Clea. Strange Tales 126. It's her first appearance. Oops. Oh, this is fun.
Go on.
So Clea in her first appearance. Wow, whoa, she's cool. Already had a lot of the costume we already see. Or we see currently.
Okay.
I think we're just going...
Change. Bitch. Costume. Pretty classic costume.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is the same way.
Yeah, pretty much.
Either that or it's hard to iterate.
I don't think it's hard to iterate.
No, I'm saying those are the two reasons generally why.
Oh, gotcha. I also found a J. Scott Campbell, who we all know I'm very fond of, which is very similar to this sculpt. I think I'm going to go somewhere in between J. Scott Campbell and first appearance.
Okay.
Which is going to be a lot of fun. All right. First things first, purple. She's very purple. And we got some highlights to do with a lighter purple, I think. Maybe I could do it with the black, I suppose. Yeah, just purple. Just straight up purple. Lots of it. That'll be at the far end. That's... oh dear. This one's just stuck. Throwing shade blue. Dark purple. No, not Tim Gubbins. Not Gamora Lilac. Well, maybe. No, I want to go darker. I don't think TT Combat has a dark enough purple. Alright. We're going to get Nagroth Knight. Going back to GW on this one. Back when I used to play Dark Elves, this was like a go-to. Unfortunately, it is very old. So bringing it back to life is a trick. Got it. Nailed it! pink speed paint? I hope so.
Are you going with speed paints or are you going with?
For her cloak, yes.
Just be careful. As long speed paints work very similar contrast. Large flat surfaces are the greatest for them. But I did it with my cloak.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm emulating your cloak here.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Are you doing a red?
It's her original first appearance cloak is a pink.
Oh.
So, I'm not sure. The way this model is sculpted, it's supposed to be Doctor Strange's cloak, but I don't love that.
Oh,
That would have been.
This one is very heavily based on the J. Scott Campbell art that I am looking at, but don't love by comparison to my other ones. A lot of the C-27 minis are. I should probably update the overlay. First appearance based.
Oh,
Either that or MCU, which is driving me, and certainly Adam up a wall.
I think he stopped doing the. Didn't he stop doing Crisis Protocol?
Okay. I think he's at a weird crossroads with it.
Ah. I wasn't sure if he was still buying.
Oh, buying them? No. Neither one of us is buying them anymore.
Oh, okay. That's what I was. Painting, yeah. I mean, if you own them.
Well, I'm also not, like, I'm printing them and not resizing them. You know? For reasons that we're, as yet unable to disclose.
Zombies.
Yes, because we're playing Zombicide. That's definitely the reason. We're just trying to keep our valor intact. This is one I should have painted before I assembled.
Well, at least you have the option.
Yeah, the pre-assembled ones are like... they're such a nuisance in that way. Because the sculptors never have painting them in mind when they sculpt them.
They look awesome. Well, I mean, and I get it. Most people aren't gonna. and most people who paint are going to
Yeah.
paint before. So you're just adding a or so people.
Yeah.
With that said, I'd rather
You'd rather.
assemble.
Yeah.
I think it's closed. Sorry. Also, with the 3D painting now, or 3D printing,
Yeah.
you don't have to. Weird jet outs and stuff like that, like you used.
Yeah. All right. Well, I've concluded that I do not have... Well, hold on. I may have a contrast paint. I do not have a speed paint pink.
I don't know if I do.
Well, because I didn't buy the disaster collection of speed paints. I just bought the base set. But I may be painting this the old-fashioned way. We're just fine. Oh, come on. This brush has had it. Yeah, I'm just dropping things. I'm breaking minis. You know, no big deal.
We don't want to. Dropping things. Breaking minis. That's...
Less good. It's fixable, but a nuisance. Actually, it opens things up quite a lot, so I'm just going to leave it for now. All right, I need a pink base. That's not what I'm looking for. These are all out of order. Need to hurry up and get that rack printed.
That's why I just bought one. Didn't even bother. Tried printing one at one time. It failed, and didn't do it.
Yeah, that's I'm getting to that point.
Like, I've realized that I'll print small things, quality of life, tiny things.
Yep.
But when it gets to big things, that's where I'm like, I have to spend like days on a thing.
Yeah. Well, in theory, the FDM printers are supposed to run faster for things like that, but they don't. I have not figured out how to optimize my printer yet, and it's driving me nuts. Like, most prints take overnight. Even just simple stuff, and I'm just like, this is not sustainable.
Exactly.
So I do believe the final Grand Tour episode goes out very soon.
What? Final?
Final.
Like, end?
Yep. May's had enough.
Why?
You tried dealing with Clarkson for 20 years.
He's only like 80.
He's only like 80.
Hey, if Biden could run the country at 80, May can host a TV show.
Well, you're not wrong.
Thank you.
Is this a new pot of paint? Oh my god, it is. Somehow I still had an unopened Citadel pot. So I think Clea might be getting the pen treatment here. Her costume has like asterisks on it,
Oh, yeah.
on the pink. I might try to do it with a brush, but I think I'm better off just doing it with a pen.
Then
It's also very possible this one might end up in the brake fluid. I'm really unhappy with how this is coming out. But we'll see.
that purple's really dark.
It is.
I thought. My 2 cents.
I think I overcooked it. I can artificially lighten it, but that doesn't always work the best. Basically involves doing a layer before I ink it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Well, I mean,
It's manageable. I can work with it, but it's a nuisance. We'll see. I'm stubborn, and I'll probably not bother to brake fluid it and start over. I'll just find a way to work with it.
if you use lighter colors, like you could layer it, and I think you'll be.
Yeah.
Too much. Let's see.
All right. Could be worse. I do have my nemesis to deal with in this mini, which is a pile of books. Way back in an early episode of Watching Paint Dry, I painted birthday presents, which was the same technique, and it's a nuisance.
So. What Deadpool looks like in the Marvel Zombies?
What's that?
Do you know what Deadpool looks like in the Marvel Zombies?
No.
Standing on a pile of money.
Sitting on a pile of what?
Money.
Money?
Dollar bills. Dollar bill.
Why?
Oh.
I mean, I guess I get it, but...
To use the merc for hire? And sculpted. I am not looking.
No. Sounds miserable.
Some people have done phenomenal.
I'm sure they have, but that is not me.
I don't know how. not know? Or wind, because every time I see it, I'm just like, I'll do that model. I think I'll paint all of the multiple men model.
Right. Black. Okay, well, that's all right.
Or maybe that's why they did it. Be like, "Good. We're gonna annoy you."
Hold on a minute. She has like sky blue eyes. Oh, good job. I've already got sky blue on my palette. Convenient.
That.
Do I need this one? I can. I have smaller brushes than that. It's like 000. Yes.
I no longer use any brush smaller. And I
Smaller
use
than
my
what?
Zero, very sparingly.
Yeah.
Learn. Just having, so that's why I have those wind brushes.
Yeah.
That have, they just have great points.
Yeah.
I don't need that, and then I can keep painting for a while because they actually store the paint.
Right.
My problem with zero or the small, super small, one line. Okay. Go get more. Ooh.
Yeah, I screwed that up completely. Dang it.
Do I want the yellow? The yellow on the out. Or maybe I do red.
Royal yellow.
It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
I just can't make this work.
Oh.
Alright. I think that's acceptable, I guess. Just completely screwed that up. No. That's perfect. Well, I can make one eye come out right, and the other one just looks like trash.
Yeah.
Fortunate.
I think we're restarting this eye.
I haven't started my eyes. I'm a
I just got so much paint in it that it's just completely obscured now. Alright, I think I can finally see the detail again. Oh, I'm almost there. Okay. We wait with bated breath. Can I pull this off? Got it! I did it!
Good job.
Oh my god, that was so annoying.
I knew you could.
That may well have been the worst eye I've ever had to do. It's like partially obscured by her hair. And there's a ton of eye makeup in there. Jesus Christmas, that was annoying. Just patch up a little bit.
Look at that. I don't know if that's good or bad.
It's pretty cool to me.
It's certainly back up. I'm proud of it. Frick.
Yeah, I'm... there you go.
Yeah, I need to...
I think her eyes look pretty alright.
Eye brush. Something. I don't know. What? Oh, actually. It is. Looks Oh, I'm doing the same thing that you just had to do. Partially obscured cloak. Maybe I can just say he doesn't. He's missing. It's the zombie.
What are you trying to do?
His one eye is partially obscured by the cloak.
Yeah, it's super annoying.
But I'm gonna just say it's the zombie version. He's missing an eye.
That's fair. Alright. With that, it is midnight. You ready to call it? All right.
I'll be done.
All right, so I gotta figure out what I'm doing with this cape. I actually don't hate the color scheme I've got going on here. I do have to lighten up the purple on her lower half to be like more fuchsia almost.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I can do that. I might find out what happens if you mix like a purple and a red contrast. Just for curiosity's sake. But I'll do that between now and next stream because I don't want to just accidentally do something stupid. Anyway, so results tonight. Here's Yondu. Pretty happy with how he came out. Actually, very happy with how he came out.
Almost too.
Let's see if I can get that good picture. Really happy with the shading here. White balance is a little off on the camera, but what are you gonna do?
Those eyes came out pretty good.
Yeah. The thing about painting with the scale you're working at is you just have to do a black dot. You're good. Where some of the ones I'm doing, you have to do colors as well. And it's a huge pain in the dick.
The problem with the black dot, though, is that if I mess up that black dot...
Yeah, you're toast. A lot of the ones that I'm doing too, like Yondu, for example, I just did a black dot and that was fine. But you're absolutely right. This can be a huge nuisance.
Let's do that.
My God, that looks really, really good on the capture. Can I just take a screenshot of that?
The fluorescent.
Make that my post? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I think while Chamali finishes up a couple of last minute details here, I'm going to call it. This has been fun.
This was. I miss it.
Yeah, it's good to have you back, man. I will be back on Monday for Zach Sucks at Games. Hopefully finishing up Circus Electrique. Who knows? That game gets really hard in the boss fights. And then Chamali and I will be back on Friday for more Suicide Squad. Quality is still up in the air, but hey, we're having fun, so who cares? Yeah. Take care. Have a good rest of the weekend. Bye.